everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of Inside AWAI, Real Copywriters, Real Strategies, Real Success. I am thrilled to introduce you to E.G. Oren. Hi, E.G.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. And how are you?
I'm cold, but hey, that's what you get when you're this far north.
And you're going to be getting a little colder, right?
I am going to be heading out to do some camping. So it's going to be pack the thermals and bring the heat. Yeah.
Oh,
But it's great because, like we talked about off camera, this is like one of my favorite seasons. It's not too hot,
that'd
not
be
too cold.
so
It's that cold
beautiful.
Goldilocks zone where you get a lot of color and you're not melting. So perfect.
Perfect. Well, okay, so we know how you're doing. Talk a little bit about what you're doing these days.
Well, I mean, from a professional perspective, I am focused a lot more on I've really narrowed my focus in what I'm doing, and I found that I was scattered a bit. I wanted to do everything for everybody, which is the curse.
Not uncommon.
It's not uncommon, right? I see that as well when I'm doing mentor calls, but it's just kind of, I got to take my own advice kind of thing. So I'm narrowing down what I'm doing. Which this may sound counterintuitive, but by narrowing down, I've actually started a newsletter. And that is really helping me focus what I'm doing. It's really helping me target my audience. And I have that. I need to do this because of that, instead of, I can help you with that, and I can do that too.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I need
just
to do
because you
this.
can doesn't mean you should, kind of thing.
And you know what? It's about the results. What are the results that you're looking to get? What are the results that anybody, that's always just such a key thought to have in mind when dealing with your own business, when dealing with clients' businesses. What are the results? Let's start with that and then build backwards into what's going to get you there. So Are you doing your newsletter on Substack?
I'm not. I actually started my newsletter before you guys launched Substack. So my newsletter is actually on Beehive. And a lot of it really, I find, like, I'm actually working with people that have Substack newsletters. I'm working with people that have MailChimp newsletters.
Sure.
It's really just a matter of, what do you want to get out of, like, what's the goal behind the newsletter? Who are you trying to attract? What are you trying to do with it? And then it's find the right tech for it last.
Right, that works for you. Yeah.
It's like, don't start with the tech and then try to fit stuff in. It's, figure out what you want, what direction you're headed to, what your goals are with the newsletter, and then find the tech that works best. Right. Yes. It's never going to be perfect, but yeah. So I ended up going with Beehive, and it's actually working really well for me. I am, today's the 16th of September. So I actually launched on Star Wars Day. And there was, so aside from being the Star Wars fan, it was May the 4th. And I was struggling with the tech, and I do tend to have some tech challenges every now and then. So my intro to starting the newsletter was, May the 4th be with me in the tech troubles. Right. And it kind of set myself up to kind of go, this is an experiment I'm trying. It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to, so I put that out there from the beginning, right? So I have, obviously it's not just going to be willy-nilly, right? Like there's structure, but I'm purposely eliminating that need to feel like it has to be perfect. It's gotta be all right. It's like, I'm putting it out there. Let's see if this works.
Yeah, see who it connects with. I love it. So what is the name? Let's give it a little love. What is the name of it, and how can people find it?
It's literally, so my company name is Be Yourself Marketing.
Yes.
Because I'm very much about, you have to be authentic. It has to be genuine. Yeah. So you can find, it's beyourselfmarketing.beehive.com, and Beehive is BEEHIIV.com. And I think Krista was in there somewhere. I think she commented. So, I mean, if anybody wants to drop a link, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay too. I take that Dan Kennedy no BS approach.
Yes, I love it.
Right. Yeah.
And that I'd say that's fitting for you. I would
Yeah.
say that describes you pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, and like that, I'm actually not wearing a baseball cap and outside in the elements is a little bit jarring for me today, right? And I do get people, they will lean into the camera and they're like, where are you today? As if they can get through their camera.
Right. Or what animal is that behind you?
And like you did that too. Like, where are you today? Right. And that's the, and I love when people do that. And sometimes when they see this background, which is actually real, that I have actually helped lay there's a fire
Okay.
out of this. It's a real background. It's not digital, whatever. And people, you'll see them lean in and then they visually deflate. Oh, you're not traveling today, because it becomes this expectation. If there are some people who are living vicariously through me, and I'm like, well, stop living vicariously through me. Let's get you started so that you could do this yourself. Maybe instead of, camping in sub-freezing temperatures where you have to layer up, then go on the world cruise, go to the 5-star resorts. Like, what does that look like for you? Right. Like this is what I love.
Yeah.
Right. I love that minimalist, break it down. I'm like
off
Grizzly Adams, the grid. Grizzly Adams with tech is how I describe it. And unfortunately, the younger kids don't really know who Grizzly Adams is. So I'm dating myself.
They're lost. Okay, so we've covered what you're doing in like your client list side of your business. What's going on in your client side of the business?
So my client side is, ironically, it's kind of what you put out there, you get back. So I am doing a lot of helping businesses launch their newsletters. I'm helping them give them that structure and that content and that aspect of, oh, it doesn't have to be perfect. And, like, what's your messaging? What are you trying to do? In some cases, I'm helping with the writing, and in other cases, I'm just helping with the strategy. I've got a few people that I'm just helping kind of copy chief, proofread, edit, right, where they're doing the work and I'm just that extra set of eyes and keeping them on track so that it's not like, oh, squirrel.
Right. Exactly. So how did that come about? Is it a specific niche or newsletters in general, or was it word of mouth? Like, how did they find you and you find them?
So there was a selfish reason behind me wanting to start a newsletter, because I'm the poster child for scope creep. And if I can help somebody, I will. And if I see a question land in an email in my inbox, I will try to answer it. So the newsletter was really just a way to kind of get back my sanity, so to speak, and like condense answering the same question one to many instead of one to one to one, because there were commonalities that were coming up. So that kind of spearheaded I need to do this on a newsletter. I did think about a blog, but then I was like, well, I still need a newsletter to get people to the blog. So why not start with the newsletter? And so from that, then I just put it out there. I mentioned it to some people that I knew. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. Here's the link. I'd love for you to check it out. And I explained the tech is going to be a problem, and right. And they're like, sure, cool, no problem. And they've been liking it. And some of the people that have been subscribing, some of them are turning into clients.
Perfect.
Right. I'm posting about it on LinkedIn, not as much as I should be. I admit that. I'm working on that. But the people that are coming in, they're seeing value in it. They're giving me feedback, they're engaging, and they're sharing it with other people. So I set up like a referral program within Beehive, and really, like, I'm not giving away gift cards or anything, but it's like, if you send 10 people my way, you get a free coaching call.
Right. Okay.
Right. So people are like, oh, how do I talk to you? How do I get in? I'm like, well, you can do that, for free, or here are my rates if you want to, schedule a call. And sometimes it turns into more, right?
Yeah. So would you say that's basically how you're building your ecosystem of potential clients? It's by putting out there what you can do, offering help, offering solutions, then having a conversation to see what they need, and then coming up with some ideas, proposals, plans that could move them forward. Is that Is that, I don't even know if you strategize that way, but if you were to put it into a strategy, would that be it?
Well, I guess really the strategy. So it's kind of a two-pronged approach. So it's the Marcus Sheridan's "They Ask You Answer," which somebody in AWAI talked about at some point. So I got the book, I read it, I'm like, yes, this is what I want to do. And then he released a new book, was it earlier this year, I think, which is like 3.0. He called it Endless Customers. And then I got into his community and I was like, I want to do this. And how do I do this, to kind of, again, cut back the number of emails that pop up in my inbox or in my DMs and whatnot. How do I still help? And so it turned, okay, you have these questions, you have these concerns. Here's my experience. Here's my client experience, right? Here's what I see that works. Here's what I see that doesn't. Here's what I've tried. Here's what other people have tried, because I don't have all the answers. And it just kind of, it allowed me to answer the questions and also position myself as an authority, right? So there's that thought leader aspect, and they're like, oh, I've actually, like, my newsletter will sometimes have affiliate links, ads and stuff like that. And I've had people email me, go, where's the ad? I know you put an ad in here because you mentioned you were going to do that. I can't find it. And so it's all like, it all has to be relevant and integrated. And and it's not me, like, part of what I put in the newsletter are copywriting tips and tricks, but it's more like, what's in it for them? Why am I writing this newsletter? Right? It's not for me, it's for them. How am I giving them value? And everything really ties back to AWAI. Like, I don't know if I can make this into like an AWAI pitch promo, but John Morrow I discovered through AWAI, and there is a list, and I've actually got it pinned on my bulletin board. Let's see if I can pin it down. He has 8 questions, and I keep them here. 8 questions that you want to, when you're writing, like that you want to be able to answer, so that by the time you're done, if you can answer all these questions, it's not about me and what I can do and the thing that I have. It's like, what are they getting? What are the results? What are their takeaways? And I find that when I'm working with bigger clients that have the copy chief, that have the marketing director, where it's not just me having to come up with everything. It's like, what's the takeaway? What's that next step?
Yes.
How is what I'm doing getting bookended, right? So, like, people are coming in from somewhere. What's that flow?
And what have they seen before?
What have they seen before? How did they get to this? And what do we want them to do next, right? We don't want to give them whiplash.
Exactly.
Right.
So okay. I just, that's a lot.
It's a lot, but really it just
so
comes down
true.
to,
but it's easy. It actually simplifies things when people realize that, because you just think about, it's a journey. It's a process. It's a conversation. You don't want to start at the end of the conversation. You want to understand what they know before, wherever you are meeting them at this moment. So I love that. And John Morrow, I believe he gave those questions at a boot camp, but if not, we may have an article about it. I will pull those out and I'll get them posted on the website. So I'm going to make a note to do that, because those are so impactful, and it's your checklist of what you should be including. I love that so much.
I do go back to a lot of, like, old boot camp sessions. I know boot camp's coming up next week. I don't always sit in on all the sessions. I kind of go through, what do I need right now? And then I will sit in, okay, I'm going to just take that in. I'm going to make a note. What's my takeaway? Now I need to go implement that so that it really sticks in my Teflon brain. Okay, now what's next?
Exactly. Right? And you have the recordings, once you have them, and you can go back to them. And I re-listen to them because I absorb different things at different times, or there's, different contexts for things. But it's going to be an amazing week next week. I'm so excited. And you are going to be featured as a member success spotlight. So that's,
I am. I don't know. Was everybody else not available or something?
Oh, stop it. Stop it. You are first on the list. So, okay, let's see. There's a lot here. So what's been an exciting recent win for you?
I monetized my newsletter in the first month.
Wow.
And I had a client do it with their first issue. So
Fantastic.
it's like, you know, like the student excels what the
Right.
teacher does. So
Yeah.
like I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I found a way to you know, get out of the red and into the black with what I'm investing into the newsletter. And I did it within a month. I broke even, but then, you know, in helping other people, like I had one that did it, boom, first issue. Right. Like, okay, I'm
Fantastic.
making money day one, right? It's
Yes.
happening. I got an email yesterday that literally the subject line was, I wanted you to be the first to know. And I'm thinking, right. It's that doom and gloom aspect, right? But it was like, no, I am doing what you said. And I just made money. I got my first newsletter paycheck, so to speak. So like,
Oh,
I think I need to print it out and frame it like that first dollar. So
that's so cool.
yeah. So I
That's a
think
win. That is
the win,
definitely a win.
I'm one of those people where the win is not me. The win is like I'm putting the spotlight on other people and I'm helping them succeed more than that. That is my success, right? And helping others succeed. Like those are the notches on my on my tool belt or whatever that saying is, right? Like the more people that I can help win, then that is my win.
Okay, excellent. Now, my screen just went blank. Is it
Uh-oh.
blank? Is it blank for you?
I see you. Do you not see
All
me?
right. I no, but that I can hear you. And
Okay.
Jay, just jump in if there's any technical issue. I can do this without having the visual, but
I
my
have no roaming animals knocking stuff over or chewing on cords that I know of. So
talk about tech challenges. You know what? I do want to start. I love how your origin story with us. I love how you got started during one. I think it was the very first launch party we ever did.
it was. I blame Pam Foster for absolutely everything that's happened to me.
That's so awesome. So just walk us through that week, and then kind of how you were able to get the momentum going from there.
Well, honestly, that week was iffy and even starting because before then it was, you know, like we were in lockdown. Before lockdown, I had a lot of health issues, so I wasn't really working. So the savings were kind of dwindling. And then the launch party popped in, and at the time, like you guys, it was an experiment because we were all in lockdown.
It was the start of the pandemic
Yeah.
lockdown, and we're like, we got to bring everybody together. Can we pull this off?
Yeah, so I was sitting there going, okay, so it's like, you know, that nice juicy intro pricing, which being in Canada, it's still a 40% bump because of the exchange rate. I was literally staring at that going, looking at my credit card balance. Can I afford this? Like, do we even like, we're not the value of it. It was like, do I actually have room? Is my credit card going to go bouncing down the street? Because I hadn't been working. I had been pulling off of my savings. And I was like, well, okay, so I've got room. And then there was that guarantee. I'm like, well, okay, worst case scenario, I can always try to get the money back. I'll lose a few bucks or something because the exchange rate. But I went in, I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, right? It's not like one foot dipping the toe in, testing the water.
Right.
Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. You're the expert. You're going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do it. And you said that will give me result. And I did that. And it was like day 2 or day 3. Pam, again, blame Pam. She said, okay, so now you're going to just start telling people. And like, ignorance is bliss. I started casually bringing it up in the conversation. I didn't have this scripted thing. And I'm doing this and look at me. And I just mentioned it off the cuff. And a couple of days later, that person that I mentioned it to emailed me, and they CC'd. So it was like a 3-way email. You're doing this thing. They need your help. Off you go. And I was like, wait, what just happened? Right. So it was as simple as that. I just started putting it out there. And for me, the people that I know, like direct connections, have never been my clients, but who do they know? And who do those people know? So it was the network and it was the referrals that have basically generated most of my business today. And so I did that. And honestly, I freaked out. I was like, I called AWAI.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I did this thing.
Just say yes.
And I was like,
say yes.
And I did that as well. Like I kept doing that. I got to a point where I had a client that wanted me to do this thing. I'm like, I have no idea how to do that. Like, yeah, no problem. But I don't really have much time in my calendar right now. Are you okay to start? And I gave myself 2 or 3 weeks or something.
Perfect.
And then again,
I
called AWI and I'm like, okay, what program? Because I was in COS at that point. What program do I need to just go full bore on? And not only did Member Success say, okay, go take this program, they said, go to this module in this program. Just boom, right there. And I did that. And then it was like, okay, let's work through. And am I the expert in what I needed to do? No, but by going through that training, I knew enough to help get them going. And I knew more than them because I did that training. So it's like, let's go through this. Yeah. Learn as you go kind of thing.
If I could just let everyone know that this isn't unusual and this works, and it's not, everybody's got imposter, all the stuff, but you can drive the bus here. You can drive the timeline. You can drive the narrative and the training. And if you bring it, if you do what you're being taught, chances are it's going to move the client further to their goals.
Yeah. And like the way I look at it is you don't have to know more than them. Even if you know as much as them,
sure,
you can come along and
they need you to do it. They don't want to do it. They need that's not their job.
You can be level and you can just take that off their plate, and that frees them up to do more higher level thinking for their business, right? You don't have to be the know-it-all expert. You're there to help them. You don't have to know more, even if you know enough. Right?
Exactly. And just keep it moving for them, help them prioritize, help them just to check the things off their list. And I just love the full circle moment of now you are a mentor for COS and you're helping those EGs that are calling now or, needing to get started or, so I am so grateful that you have that pay it forward spirit.
I do. And, just to that point, that aspect of, like, I don't know if you remember how this whole thing of me becoming a mentor even came about. We did the writers retreat in Del Rey. And that first night I was actually in the bar, not drinking, but, answering people's questions until like 1:30 in the morning or something. And the next day, like I couldn't talk because my throat was so hoarse. And something happened with the speaker panel, the $1 billion panel, I call it, with Mark Ford and like $1 billion in sales just sitting in front of me. And I just had this aha moment. And at the break, I saw you in the back of the room standing next to Denise, and I came running at you, and then I just verbal diarrhea.
I don't remember it like that.
For me, it wasn't this, okay, I'm going to have this pitch and this is how I'm going to position myself. I just came out and like, I have an idea. This is why I think I should become a mentor. This is what's happened. And this is how it can help. And, like Denise was like, well, shouldn't you like kind of, think things through? And I did this. I said, no. Because that's when the overthinking kicks in. That's when the analysis paralysis kicks in. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's like, what's that next step that I need to move forward? Was it a polished presentation with no?
And that's what the whole theory behind mentoring is. It's just, what is that next step? And again, it's been so wonderful having you be part of that team and really helping so many of your fellow members. Speaking of fellow writers, if you had to narrow it down to one piece of advice, or one thing that you wish you learned sooner, or one thing that has really had an impact on your career, what would it be?
Focus.
Focus.
Right. And Rebecca,
Put a period
on
after
one
that.
thing, right? That ultimate power of one, like the way that what Rebecca Matter explained it, it's like you have the two buckets. One thing in the skill building bucket, one thing in the business building bucket. That's it. Just one thing. What's that
Yeah.
one thing? And for me, like I get a lot of questions like, what course should I take next? Well, that depends. What does the client need?
Right.
Because if you just keep taking the course, there's always going to be another course. You need to take the course, consume it, and then apply it. Okay, great. Now in my case, right now, the client needed this thing I didn't know how to do. Call COS and say, where do I learn how to do this thing? And then, if you're lucky, your mentor or member success team will tell you what module specifically. Otherwise, they'll go, there's the course, there's the link, work through it, right? And then apply it to your client as you go. So it's just that focus and having that singularity instead of trying to be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
And thinking you have to learn everything, or thinking that there's going to be a day where like, okay, I'm ready, stay focused, keep learning. I love that. EG, I would love to, I think I know the answer to this, but what's something that you're currently really excited about, either inside your career or outside your writing career?
Okay, I'm going to go outside my writing career because you guys, again, at AWAI, like, it's all you guys. You guys gave me the vehicle to put me where I am now. Yesterday I removed subjects to financing. Like I bought property.
Okay. Congratulations.
I'm going off grid. I am moving. I am basically realizing what I wanted for my definition of, lifestyle, that Grizzly Adams with tech. And I'm able to do that on my timeline, with so basically there's my life, and then work is fitting around my life. And you guys gave me the tools and the support, the direction, and understanding how to do that. I never would have been able to do that with that employee mentality, and that,
well, you did the work, EG,
yes, but it's a partnership in a way, right? So it's like I could go down rabbit holes watching YouTube videos, trying this, that, and the other thing, but everything was kind of like, what do I need next? And I still have, even though, like you mentioned, I'm a COS mentor, I still have mentors. I still have mentor calls.
I do too.
It never ends, right? So it's not like, okay, I have the answer to my question, then I'm good. I'm like, I have regular check-ins, and I see mentoring as my support system. COS is my structure, right? So I'm a solopreneur. It's just me, but I'm not doing this by myself. I have a team that I can fall back on. Okay, I need help with this. How do I bring that in? Right? It's not all on me. And it was that mind shift and realizing, oh, if I actually just kind of do this and stop making it so difficult, right? And like thinking I have to be all this and all that to everybody, that is really what has given me direction, right? That's what's allowed me to be in the position that I'm in now. Right.
That's fabulous. Jade, I can't see if there's any questions or comments. If there are, would you let us know? Would you come on? Or if not, we will just wrap up.
It was just a question. I've popped it at the bottom. I kind of answered it, but Vicky was just asking what courses EG has taken, or maybe we can even pivot that to recommend.
So I obviously started with the launch party, and then I accidentally launched before the launch party was over.
And it worked.
It worked. It did. And then from there, I jumped into COS. So like when I jumped into COS, literally I was making less money than what the payments were for COS. That's not to scare anybody, but I mean, honestly, start with the fundamentals. I don't have it with me. It's in my trailer ready to go, but you sent me a Yeti mug with AWAI and EG on it because I was like one of the first people to go through the method, right? And you're like, of course she is, because like I'm just following the instructions. Start with the fundamentals. That's it. The method,
and that would be the AWAI method. Yeah.
The method is going to give you all the basics, and that's going to be enough to get you started. And even if you want to do long form sales letters and stuff, start with the method. It's easy.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to, and then from there, apply it, right? What are clients asking for? Circle back and find that program, right? To help fill things in.
And then build out your knowledge base and your library from there. I think that's great advice.
I've taken again, like the whole skill building, business building. I'm always reading a book. I'm always taking a course of something, but it's based on, you know, what's the feedback that I'm getting? What are people asking for? Where can I improve my skill to help the clients that I'm working with? So I have a lot of certifications. I've taken a lot of courses, but I actually am now more focused on that aspect that I should have paid attention to sooner. It's not necessarily finishing the certification and collecting all the courses. It's what does that client need? What module do I need to go to find that one thing?
Download it. Yeah.
Right. It's that you don't need everything. So if you're not sure, then call Member Success. They're not actually there to sell you a course. I've had Member Success talk me out of taking something because they told me, well, this isn't going to help you right now. Right. So they're there they're not there to pitch you something. They're there to actually help you, because
to guide you. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's the difference. I think you call another customer service line and they're going to find something to sell you. You guys don't do that.
Well, again, we're
but it's like, you're not selling it for the sake of selling. It's like, you need, right?
We were very intentional in naming that team Member Success, because it is about how do we help people become successful. And from day one, that is what is everybody's marching orders, everyone's heart and soul. You know, that's what everybody's focused on. But and EG, you are such a wonderful example of it all coming to fruition, of you doing the work and you being so generous with your time and your experience and what you're learning along the way. And again, you're never going to stop learning. None of us are. And I just am so excited for your success and your story and your adventures. And I love to hear about them. And I, again, just really want to thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you for inviting me on. And I've been tuning into these, and I can't make them all live because I've got client calls, but I've been tuning them in, and I've been like, everybody is so different. And to be able to capture everybody being so different, and we're all kind of on the same path.
Yeah, well, that's the writer's life. It's not the same for any people, really. Not, you know, it's different for every single. Yeah, that's why we love doing these, is to bring people like you. So if just get one little nugget out of here, or one piece of inspiration, then this is. That's it.
It's just that one thing. You don't need all of it. It's like, what's that one takeaway? Go apply it, right? Go apply it to your business, and then apply it to your client's business. That's it.
Beautiful.
And then what's next?
Exactly. Well, we know what's next for you, and it's going to be boot camp next week. So,
actually, next for me is camping after I'm done painting.
Yes. But
so boot camp, you will not see this brick wall, unfortunately, for boot camp. It'll be a whole other scenario.
Okay. Well, we'll stay tuned to see.
Yeah.
But thanks again. And thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Katie.
Bye.